now it's going.
Okay.
So I'm going to start this again.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Okay, great. Hello.
Good
afternoon. Morning. How are you?
Very good.
Good. So Paula, thank you for joining me today for this session. It's going to be a really good session. We're going to do a little questionnaire here in a minute. But first I'm going to ask you how you're feeling today.
Oh, I'm a little sad. I'm thinking a lot about death because a friend died. A past friend died that I got news on today. So that's sort of affecting. But all in all, my core is solid and I feel happy.
Okay, good. What? Okay, yeah, that could be rough. That could be rough. So what do you plan to do today to address the immediate need?
You know, I'm just going to think about this friend, and I'm going to visit a friend of that friend later in the afternoon and give each other hugs. And just, I'm not that close to this person, but they were a big part of my life maybe 10 years ago. So it's just a reminder of death for me today, you know.
Right. Always hard. Okay, so you seem to have a plan for that later. So right now, though, we're going to do a little questionnaire, and I call this the 5 questions, 1 answer exercise. And it's how to deal with a situation in your life and how to get through what could be some negative thoughts and how to turn it into more positive thoughts, which would be a more positive situation. So what we're going to do is you have your pen and paper. So what we're going to do is you have questions, I have questions, and I'm going to read a question. And when I read a question, you're going to write down the first thing that comes to your mind. And you're just going to do free-form writing. This is stream of consciousness writing. There's no wrong. And then we're going to stop. And then after you do all the questions, we're going to go back and address them one by one. So, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, the first question is, and you just you don't have to think too much, just write. You're going to think of a situation that is bothering you now, something that's weighing heavy on your mind. So, what is my situation is the first question. Go ahead and write down the first thing that comes to your mind. Excuse me.
Okay.
Okay. All right then. So now you have your situation. The next question is, what are my thoughts behind this situation? And this is stream of consciousness, free-form writing. This is just, and you know, when I've done this exercise with other people, sometimes people put down their thoughts and they immediately don't make sense to them, or it's something they weren't expect to write. But I say fine and good. So I'm going to read this question again, and after I finish reading it, you just write down whatever thoughts come to your mind. So the next question is, what are my thoughts behind this situation?
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else? Okay. Okay then. Okay, so next question. Oh, you're still writing?
No, I'm ready.
Okay, ready. Okay. So the next question is, what are the feelings parentheses, emotions I have about this situation. So, self-explanatory, you just access what you're feeling about the situation. Adjectives are really good here, so go ahead and write that down.
Okay.
Okay. Now the next question, remember this is the 5 question, 1 answer. The next question is a little tricky, so I have to explain it. I'll read you the question and I will explain it. What is the payoff, quote, negative results, end quote, I have regarding this situation? So sometimes in our life we're getting negative results, but the negative result might make us feel better. And so that's called a payoff.
Mm-hmm.
So giving an example, let's say if you stay in a lot, it might be that's your negative result because you might have a fear of going out.
Mm-hmm.
So the payoff in that situation is if you're an agoraphobic, you have fear of going out, so the payoff, the negative result is that you have to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
So there's just something to think about. So
Mm-hmm.
the question is, I'll read it again after that explanation. What is the payoff, quote, negative result, end quote, I have regarding this situation?
Mm-hmm.
So write down any negative result you could be having in your life because of the situation that you mentioned.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so are you...
That's the bird saying goodbye.
Yes.
She gets very excited when that happens. Okay.
Okay. I feel like she's part of the session.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that clear? Do you have anything
Yeah.
else to add to that? You're clear with that? Okay. So the next question is, what are my exact negative thoughts, parentheses, combination of all thoughts above? So in free-form writing, we tend to go off on tangents and write a lot of things. And sometimes when you've answered the first questions, there's answers that have come up again and again. So we call those a charge. So a charge is something that hits you the most about what's going on. So I added this question because it helps just to hone down your charge thoughts into maybe 2 or 3 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
And you take it from, it could be about any of the above questions. So it could be about the payoff, about the emotions, or about the thoughts. So why don't you take a few minutes to sort of look at everything that you wrote, see if something came up more than once, or if it didn't come up more than once, see if there's a charge on anything that you wrote. A charge is sort of the feeling you get when you read it. And write down maybe 3 sentences in this section here. What are my exact negative thoughts? Combination of all thoughts above.
That I tell myself.
Yeah, like from this paragraph here, that what are the thoughts behind the situation? You wrote down some things there. What are the feelings, emotions I have about the situation, and what is the payoff? So take what you wrote up here, take 2 or 3 thoughts or feelings that you have that mean the most to you, and just rewrite them here in this section.
Okay.
Okay. Feel complete with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the next question is, my new positive thoughts are, and we are going to fill this in, but we're going to go back. We're going to make this really easy to fill in because we're going to gather that from the work that we've done above. So now we're going to go backwards and go through this again, sentence by sentence. So how you feeling?
Good, but
Good.
this is, heavy stuff. Do you
Yeah.
want me to share it with you now?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go through the first question. What is my situation?
Okay.
So tell me everything that you wrote.
Okay, so my situation is that my parents are struggling with the responsibilities of staying in their home and considering moving into the assisted living type thing. And what that's bringing up for me is I'm unprepared to accept their decisions and their potential future death.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Okay.
That's my situation.
Okay.
And not that is or isn't the right decision for them. It's just that I'm unprepared to accept their death and
Right,
their whether if their decision is different than staying in their home, I'm not ready to let go of
Okay.
them being in their home and always being there for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Could you imagine a situation, and you could say this out loud, just imagine the situation where they're in another place, we don't know yet, and let's imagine them being happy. Tell me what you see or feel.
Well, the next answers that I went through
Okay.
are kind of about it's more about me not accepting their death
Right.
than what they do. Like, it isn't about me, this is embarrassing to say, but it's not about me being concerned about their happiness.
Yeah.
It's about me
Yeah.
being concerned about my relationship to what they mean to me as being that they're still alive and
Right.
they still function as parents for me.
Mhm.
So if you won't, but so I'm only telling you that in advance because these answers don't line up with that. Like,
Okay.
I
No,
didn't
it's
even,
okay.
I didn't go in that direction. It's more about
Right.
the situation is not, as much as I love them, it's not about their happiness. It's
Right.
about the situation I'm having difficulties with is my acceptance of
Right.
their death and their decision, which is all in their hands. It's all outside of me.
Right. Exactly. Yeah,
So
I get it.
I mean, I could see them happy, but I still wouldn't be prepared because I'm unprepared. I'm unprepared to accept them being anything different than the parents that always nurtured and supported me,
Right.
kind of
right.
thing,
Okay.
in my head,
Right. Right. Right.
or didn't, as you'll see in my comments to come. So,
Okay. Okay. I get it.
mhm.
Okay. And so you've been dealing with this. Have you been dealing with this situation for a while? It's taken up some time, or tell me how you've been. Is it slowly? Tell me how this has evolved.
Well, they're in the process of weighing with my other siblings of making this decision, and I've taken part in trying to persuade them to not go into a home. But what happened when I was thinking through your different questions, if I answered, is more about what is behind me not accepting their death,
Okay.
or their leaving their home, because the home symbolizes so much for me.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go over the
Yeah.
questions again. And just before we start, can you see yourself outside of the situation? Can you see yourself this being resolved at one point in your life, and you see your life as it is, however which way this is resolved?
Yeah, I think it's on me
Okay.
right now to I see. So the problem is that I'm unprepared to accept their decision
Okay.
and their potential death.
Okay.
So what? So what I'm trying to identify are what are the feelings and things that I have
Okay.
that are related to me not being able to accept it. It's not so much about. Am I helping?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm
No,
trying
no,
to-
it's I'm
much.
I'm
I
here
want to
to-
go deeper. So
I'm here to help you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go over them one by one, and then I'm gonna ask you what you wrote down. You're gonna tell me, and then we're gonna have another thought.
okay.
Okay, to replace
Yeah.
that thought. So to
Yeah.
help you. So I'm going to read this question. You just tell me what you wrote.
Mm-hmm.
What are my thoughts behind this situation? And you read what you wrote.
Okay.
Mm.
That I'm bad, or I don't belong in a healthy way in their inner circle.
Okay.
And that they're the land that their home is on holds me more to my past and is a connecting thing to me having a history more than they are.
Okay.
You know, and the people watching this need to know that I was raised in a very religious community that I'm not a part of anymore. And so their death and their leaving their home is like calls up for me my sense of not belonging with them anymore.
Okay.
You know, which has been a long-term problem in my life.
Okay.
So it's just another crappy reminder
Okay.
of my separation.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah.
So what we're gonna do is I hear you. Thank
Mhm.
you very much for that.
Yeah, because see, now you understand
Right,
why it
right.
wasn't fitting what you were
Yeah.
asking before.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I understand that.
Okay.
So now what we're gonna do is I'm going to write now, but you're
Mhm.
gonna tell me how you could take some of those thoughts and turn them around to some thoughts that might help you more in being more peaceful with the situation. So just take the first thought that you wrote down, for
Mhm.
instance, and just tell me what it is.
That I'm bad
Okay.
and I don't belong in a healthy way to their inner circle.
Okay. Can you reframe that in a way that you're not suffering from your thoughts with that? Can you see that in a different way? Can you say something a little differently?
Well, it was a lot of work to come up with what's behind all this
I
stuff.
know.
I really feel like if you go into the feelings,
Mhm.
I feel unworthy and
Okay, so
unloyal and
let's do this.
yeah.
Do you want to? Why don't we go through the
Mhm.
first three,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll do this. We'll get to the positive thoughts at the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
okay.
So you just told me what are my thoughts behind this situation. We've done that one.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, what are the feelings, emotions I have about this situation? So just read what you have.
Yeah. I have anxiety.
Okay.
I feel ungrounded.
Mm.
I feel unloyal. I feel unworthy.
Mm.
And I have an unresolved history and emptiness.
Okay. Okay. So let's go on to the next one. What is the payoff, the negative result I have regarding this situation?
I use these feelings of separation to think that I'm above everyone
Okay.
and that being rebellious is fun
Mhm.
and that I don't have to get close to anyone.
Okay. Okay.
That I'm, better off being isolated.
Okay. Okay. You've got the exercise, definitely.
Yeah,
You've
yeah.
okay, so
But I honestly can't get okay, so keep going and I'm stuck now soon
Okay.
I'll be stuck soon.
Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna get you unstuck.
Yes.
This is the next one. What are my exact negative thoughts? Combination of all the thoughts above. So as I said previously, you're just sort of honing down the things that really strike you.
Oh my god, our time's up already.
That's okay. Just stop it. That's okay.
All right.
So we're gonna just.
Mhm.
What did you write here? What did you write here in this?
What my exact negative thoughts are?
Yeah.
My family really doesn't love me.
Mm.
I can buy my way out of any difficult human situation. And people, here's probably the scariest one. People close to me always hurt me.
Okay. You're very brave, by the way. I just want to tell you that.
Well,
Okay.
These are not new problems.
Okay.
I'm very aware of these, you know.
So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take from what you wrote down, the exact negative thoughts, and we're going to reframe it. So
Okay.
we're going to, even if it's difficult for you to see at the moment, see yourself not as yourself now. See yourself as just some person out there. See yourself as a friend. That's what we're going to do. We're going to see yourself as a friend. What if a friend told you, read the first one.
My family really, no, it's a screwy sentence, so I'm trying to rephrase it.
All
My
right.
family really, no, I have.
Say it as you wrote it, and then we're going
Nobody really loves me.
Okay.
My family really doesn't love me because I'm not like them anymore.
So what if take yourself out of this situation? Your friend comes to you who you know and love. This is a friend, and you know that.
Or even
that
my daughter, she would say, "Your family really loves you."
Okay, perfect.
You know,
so your daughter would say, "Your family really loves you."
Yeah, and it doesn't matter that you're different. You know,
your family really. You could do too. Your family really loves. Actually, my family? Yes, my family. You've got it. My family really loves me, and it doesn't matter that I'm different.
Oh, I said it.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, moving on. We're going to do this for all three.
Okay.
Okay, how does that feel for you?
Good, except my pen stopped working, which is really annoying. Okay.
So, read the you said 3. There were 3 when you honed it down.
Okay.
Read the other one.
All right. I can buy my way out of any difficult human situation.
Okay, so if your daughter said that to you or a friend said that to you, what would you say to them?
That's still kind of the payoff, so maybe that one's not really accurate. If the negative thought would be, I need to buy my way out of any difficult. So I need to.
Okay.
Which means that I don't get close to people, and I use money and power and position to hold my own, which doesn't, circular. I don't get close to people that way, So the new pot. So my friend would say to me, people love and accept you just as you are.
Okay. Write that down.
Okay.
Okay, great.
And the last one is, people close to me always hurt me. And this is why I try to keep distance from people.
Okay.
And try not to get too close, is that it's happened to me a lot. So I just, I'm not going to let people get close to me because they're going to hurt me.
Okay.
So
this is one I think you could do on yourself. What would be, if you said that and a friend would tell you something, they would say, in other words, they're telling you the opposite of this, which is other people's perceptions aren't yours. What would someone else tell you about the statement? What is the opposite of what you're thinking?
This is really hard for me, Patty, because I feel like these things are all outside of me. Like I kind of feel like a victim in all of them. So people close to me always hurt me is me being really honest about why I feel vulnerable in the world. And maybe that's so ingrained in me, it's really hard for me to say the opposite.
Okay. I know it's hard. That's why we're doing it.
So I would say people have my best interest at heart.
Okay.
But I do not believe that.
I know. Just write it down. Okay. That's why we, if someone once told me about this, if you don't believe it, it's working.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No, what I mean is you've really gotten to what, if you don't believe it, you really gotten to what it is. So
Yeah,
what I'm saying
I
is
don't
the
believe
exercise.
any of these.
No, what I'm saying is the exercise is working.
Yeah, okay.
So-
So how do I adapt
okay,
that
so-
so that I can really believe
Okay,
that?
all right. So here's what I do,
Because
and
it's
then
not my reality.
I know. We're gonna wrap this up so you have something to do for the next week, and then we're gonna see each other again next week. So what I do is I've taken these thoughts, and these are my thoughts for the week. If I have a moment, instead of being on my phone, I think the positive thoughts. I write them on Post-its. I have put them on my computer. I have put them in my car. And a good exercise is to say them in the mirror. That's when that's the real thing there, because you're looking at your reflection and it somehow goes deep in your soul. And all you're going to do is, your assignment for the week is, all you're going to do is say these thoughts in your free moments. I like to say them when I'm almost in a meditative state in my bed. That's what I like to do. But I've given you several places where, and just try to work on these positive statements, forget about everything else. It was to lead us to this. So try to, I know we're going to continue with this, but try to work on these positive thoughts. And it takes a while for positive thoughts to sink in on things sometimes, but that's our job. Yeah. Okay?
Okay.
Well, that's the end of the session. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yay,
And,
thank you for taking the time to care and listen. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.